Are we there yet?
Bex and Dan are on a road trip to find out more about the way we get around. And Bex has stumbled on a rather whiffy fact.
Hey Dan, did you know that in the year 1700, around 500,000 people lived in London, and by 1900, just 300 years later, there were 6 million people?
Sounds pretty crowded.
And because people mostly got around using horses, that's got to be a lot of horses.
I guess.
So just imagine all the manure. London must have been a very smelly place back then.
Whoa, I guess you're right, but I imagine the roses looked pretty good as well.
The population increased massively during the 18th century, especially in cities like London, Birmingham and Glasgow. This meant more travel, more vehicles on the road, and yes, more horses. Aside from the rather smelly problem of manure, roads had to be better to cope with the increased loads, and luckily, there were some very clever people at work. Take John Metcalf. He built many roads in England in the 18th century. An expert in drainage, he thought a good road should have a curved surface so rainwater would run off. He even managed to build roads across bogs using rafts of heather and gorse. Then there was Thomas Telford. He was a builder who came up with new ways to make roads much smoother. He built roads by digging a large trench in which a foundation of heavy rock was set. The surface of his roads consisted of broken stone, which was selected based on thickness and shape. His work on the Holyhead Road helped half the journey time of the London Mail coach, from 45 to just 27 hours.
But here's what I don't get. Old roads were made from cobble, stones and gravel, right? But roads today are shiny and black. I can't see any stones at all.
That's because most roads today are made from tarmac.
Tarmac? What's that? Sounds like a fancy spice. Just add a sprinkle of tarmac to your delicious soup.
Yeah, let's not do that, Bex. I think you'd end up with stomachache.
Or stomach ache. See what I did there?
Tarmac is all thanks to another 18th century engineer, John Macadam. He figured out that it wasn't necessary to use lots of stones. In fact, he said, no stone larger than will enter a man's mouth should go into a road. His view was that rather than building great foundations of stones, so long as the ground was covered by a tough crust, that would protect the soil underneath from water and wear. John Macadam used a combination of stone and soil to make this crust, which came to be known as macadam after its inventor. In 1848, he added coal tar to the mix, creating tar macadam, or tarmac. This coal tar was left over from coal lamps, and so he was also a pioneer in recycling.
Time for a lunch stop. Let's find somewhere to eat.
Tarmac soup?
Yeah, maybe not. I think I'll stick to a burger.
Are we there yet? With support from the Royal Academy of Engineering. Find out more at funkidslive.com/roads.